evening, everyone, and welcome to another exciting edition of Pardon Our Picks, where perfection is a work in progress. I'm your host, Sam. Off tonight, of course, is the GM, but I have the rest of the crew. How you guys doing tonight?
I'm hanging in there, buddy. It's 2 days before one of my favorite holidays because all the good food and family, so I'm excited to get there. How are you doing, bud?
I am doing great. One more day of work before I go up to the mountains and have to listen to my dad talk politics.
And about the good old days
Oh, yes, the good old days.
when he was playing football.
Football, double, triple teamed, and all those stories where he punched him in the mouth.
Yep.
Of course.
But, of course, we are brought to you by Aardvark Concepts Incorporated, more than just a sign shop. Check them out in Westminster for all your sign and decal needs. And into deep of Maryland, they have a show this Friday. They are at the Rex, somewhere in Baltimore, somewhere in Maryland. I don't know exactly where it is. I think it's
Some town that none of us that work here have ever heard of before, but you know what? Go give them a shot.
Yep, check them out. They're on Facebook. They're a great show. And remember, November 28th. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, Black Friday. Just say you'll be there. We'll be happy. Thank you.
Ugly sweaters. Ugly sweaters. Don't forget. So, another week in the books. And, you know, there was kind of some crazy games, and it ended with a bit of a punch to the balls. If anybody doesn't know, breaking news, Juwan Jennings got punched in the nads by a Carolina safety. Can't remember the guy's name, but he has been suspended.
Or something.
He has been suspended for one game because of it. Listen, I gotta ask, because, you know, he got punched in the nads. What from last week was a punch to your nads as far as football went?
Oh man, where to start? Is it the Ravens' offense, or is it the complete ineptitude of my fantasy league? I was on a 6-game winning streak in first place in our league. You know, I was riding a little bit of a high, and then my team decided to, underperform across the board, but which really just kind of made me look more into it. I feel like for a whole, like, offensive production this year is like down. Like, quarterback play is not like as sharp as it has been all season. So I don't know what it is. But yeah, I would have to say, if I had to pick one actual football thing that didn't have to relate to fantasy, it would be the production of the Ravens offense.
I think my giant punch to the nads, as Sam would say, is the Kansas City Chiefs coming back and winning that game. I did pick them because I know that that's how things go, but I was pretty excited that they were losing that game. And I'm actually trying to... Oh, I just saw the punch to the nads. Okay. All right, I get it.
Way to punctuate it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was a pretty big disappointment though, with the Kansas City Chiefs, because they were down for so much, and then in like the second half, it was like Indy just didn't do anything offensively, and I don't know what happened, what changed. I wasn't watching the game at that point, so I don't know if it was a bunch of calls. I don't know if it was penalty-wise, anything like that, or they just didn't do anything.
They really didn't do much. I mean, Indianapolis's offense just couldn't get out of their own way, and when they would eventually make a play or something like that, Kansas City would make a play to just set it back. When your number one player, Jonathan Taylor, he's got 7 total points on the game, you're gonna have a bad time.
You're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, you're gonna have a bad time.
That's right. Pizza when you're roast a French fry, you're gonna have a bad time.
They were not even in the same one. They were saying you're supposed to pizza, and they were doing garbage truck. It wasn't even a food.
God.
My punch to the nads was the way the Rams just absolutely mauled the Buccaneers, and of course the injury to Baker Mayfield, the shoulder sprain, perhaps out for a couple of weeks, perhaps coming back this week. We don't know, and that's going to be a huge issue.
It could make this game a whole lot more up in the air than I think it would have originally been.
Oh, absolutely. And funny enough, it opens the door for said Carolina Panthers to possibly make a case for the division.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Which honestly, I don't think is that far fetched. I mean, they didn't look super sharp again. No offense really has, but neither really did the 49ers last night. I mean, Carolina, it was like every other play, someone was going down with an injury. But it wouldn't surprise me if Carolina kind of went on a little bit of a tear. You know, it's really a two-horse race in that division right now between Tampa Bay and Carolina because the Saints ain't doing nothing. And I don't think the Falcons are going to do much with Kirk Cousins. So
yep.
We'll see.
The Saints have already marched home, and the Falcons are flying south for the winter. And speaking of getting punched in the nads, let's take a look at the standings. Jessica with a 12-2 week. Look at her roll.
At this point, like, we just should call ourselves wannabes, Sam. Like,
yeah.
What? I have an amazing week, and I still can't even gain a game because she is Nostradamus over there.
That's what I said. I mean, I feel like y'all, at some point, we have to just put me in the Hall of Fame, and you guys can battle it out for the second.
That's next season. That's next season.
To be fair, I think I'm just in a rebuilding year. I'm usually towards the top, but I every once in a while, you just have those down years where you just gotta, roll with the punches.
Well, you said some people say you never give up on a good thing, but I was like, man, I did really good this week. And then I saw the standings, and I'm like,
yeah. And can I say another punch to the nads was the fact that I started Brock Purdy instead of Daniel Jones because of the matchup, and it didn't help me.
I mean, neither one would have helped you.
Daniel Jones played okay. He got like 17 points.
And
Brock Purdy got like 10.
And yet, I got 50 points from Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, that's true. It wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, that pretty much eliminated your playoff hopes.
I feel like I go against, like, the weeks that someone gets 60 points for a single player. I am against them.
That's what you had JT, the week that JT went off in Brazil, you went against me.
Yep.
What's funny is, I think 13 weeks in, 6 of those weeks, the highest score has been against me.
It
Highest
wasn't me, I can tell you that.
This week it was not, but one week it was you.
Oh wait, that's right. I did get one good week.
You had 1 week where you scored the most points in the league, and guess who it was against?
Yeah.
Me.
Glad I could be against you.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna win, I gotta win big.
Well, I gotta win out to make the playoffs and get help. So, speaking of getting help, our game of the week includes two teams who helped themselves a little bit last week, but definitely need help in the last 5 or so games of the season. That's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs against the Dallas Cowboys.
Ugh.
This is my game of the week simply because Kansas City is trying to climb back into that playoff spot, and so is the Cowboys. Both of these teams, big comeback wins last week, and outside looking in right now, I got to ask, do either of these teams have a chance? What do you think is going to happen in this game? Does this game determine if one of them makes the playoffs or not?
I'll say, first of all, this is a horrendous game of the week, but they're all kind of a mixed bag right now in this season. I mean, all sports analysts are like, who would have thought this is what things would look like? Kansas City is never out of the running. I feel like they're never, it doesn't matter if they are 0-3 going against a 3-0 team. It doesn't matter, if they're playing substantially worse than the team that they're playing against. There's still a chance that they could either play better or get better calls in their favor. You never know. And they have those weeks where they do play really well, but it has not been happening. They've looked so bad in the last few weeks that I think this could actually be a decent matchup depending on how the Cowboys show up. So I feel like the Cowboys defense has really been showing up. It's the offense that's, a dumpster fire some weeks. Other weeks, they look decent. So if the Cowboys offense shows up, and I believe it's at Dallas, correct?
It is at Dallas.
So
on Thanksgiving.
They tend to have a better record at home. I still think it's going to be Kansas City here, but it might actually be a decent game.
See, I'm with Sam on this one. I'm with Sam on this one. I think this is going to be a very good game because of all the things that Jess mentioned. I mean, Dallas is the number 1 rated offense in the league. Period.
What?
Yeah. They are the number 1 rated offense, and because they're playing from behind so much, and I'm sure that a couple of games they've lost where they put up like 30 plus points help in that too. But I think this has the makeups of being a really good game. I mean, neither of these teams are playing up to their potential, I think. I mean, when Dallas went out and they traded for George Pickens, they expected to, essentially be where Philly is now. And really that win last week of Dallas was, I think, due to Philly's own ineptitude on offense. Because, we say this week in, week out, Philly is not playing up to their level. Like, their record does not, to me, denote the level of play that they've had. On the other hand, Kansas City, I think their record, perfectly says, we've been playing bad. We have lost games that we should have won. We have won games that we shouldn't have won. They are perfectly where they're at. So I think this could be a very good game. I would not be surprised if George Pickens gets himself thrown out of this game because Kansas City loves to chirp. So does George Pickens. So I think there's going to be a lot of flags in this game. But when there's a lot of flags, they always go Kansas City's way. So I'm going to go Kansas City in this one. I do think this is going to be one of those high-scoring games where Dallas's defense doesn't show up, but their offense puts up another 35, 40 points. So I'm expecting this to be a very good first game. This is the first game or is it the second game?
This is the second game. I think the Detroit game's the first game.
Very good second game for Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I look at this game. I think the loser of this game is playing for next year. I don't think the winner. I think the loser of this game will not make the playoffs, and the winner, at least, it bolsters their choice and bolsters their chances of making the playoffs. And I think it becomes a pretty good chance if Kansas City wins. They're at 7-5. They're right in the thick of things. Cowboys win 6-5-1. They're right behind the teams in front of them, and I think they can catch up with some of the games that they have now. George Pickens has been a great pickup for them. However, the reason why Dallas is 5-5-1 is because that defense has been a blank spot all season. Last week, they stepped up in the second half against a team they know well. I'll give them that.
A capable team.
Yeah, it's a team that they know well, so they know how to play against them. The fact that they actually put it together was surprising, but quite frankly, maybe it was the start. Kansas City struggled early against the Colts. And I think that with Dallas's offense being so prolific, it's going to keep them ahead in this game for the entirety of the game. Although it is going to be close in the end, I think it's going to be a shootout. Essentially, Dallas gets one more stop than Kansas City does. And Dallas gets the win at home on Thanksgiving.
Bold.
It is.
Gotta be bold.
It's bold.
Yeah,
I'm so far behind, I gotta be bold.
Yeah, you gotta spice up your life sometimes. I mean, hey, if it works, man, you could have another one of those weeks. You never know.
I could. Speaking of weeks, let's see what we picked this week in our Pop Panel Quick Pick'ems. Boom! As you can see, I picked the Cowboys.
Did I pick Philly?
Okay, so I
did not pick Philly.
I want to say for that game, I'm on the fence for Philly or Chicago. And I am honestly leaning.
Pick the Bears.
I'm leaning toward Chicago. So I scrambled and made my picks. And I think knowing that Brady picked the Bears, I may want to stick with Philly. But I am back and forth there. And I do think, I think the Bears look pretty good. And they're actually playing, for the most part, to their potential. Whereas Philly is not. And it feels like it's more than just like an on-the-field thing. So
the only game that I really flip-flopped on was the Cincinnati Ravens game because the Ravens offense has not looked great. Lamar is clearly playing hurt. Mm-hmm. But Cincinnati is also down their wide receiver 2 and T. Higgins and Trey Hendrickson going into this game with their top pass rusher.
Yep.
So it's like with the 32nd ranked defense in Cincinnati and the 21st ranked offense in Baltimore, what you gonna get? And I think that leans more into Baltimore's favor. And I think if Baltimore can come out of this game with a win, and then essentially having 10 days between now and their next game, could really help Lamar get closer to being healthy and potentially getting some of these other players who are starting to come back from the injury reports. But with Joe Burrow coming back this Thursday, it's going to be interesting to see if this is going to be one of those games where, like last year where it was like 48-47 because no one knew how to play defense, or if it's going to be some grindy out game that I think it might be.
I'm very happy that Hendrickson is out because the offensive line for the Ravens should get a D- or less every single game. They are trash. The pocket is nonstop collapsing. They can't stop a freaking piece of paper. So Trey Hendrickson being such a good pass rusher, I'm so happy he is not in, and I think it actually gives the Ravens the edge here.
I got Baltimore winning this one. I think it's funny, by the way, that the injury to Lamar Jackson has gravitated south. It went from his hamstring 4 weeks ago to his knee 3 weeks ago to his ankle 2 weeks ago, and then this week, his toe.
What are you insinuating, Sam?
That next week it'll be the toenail.
And then the week after that, it'll be out of his foot.
Yes, and he'll be fully healthy. So,
I'm
but
okay with that.
I think last week was a bit of a misnomer. They struggled against a team they shouldn't have, and teams have those games where they just look past the team that they're about to play, the bad team they're about to beat, and they almost dropped the ball. So I got them winning this one though
They
against
did
Joe
drop some
Flacco.
balls.
All right,
The balls got punched too.
yeah. Speaking of getting punched, San Francisco is on this list, but me and Jessica, the only people who picked Houston to continue their winning streak, getting them one game out of the division lead.
I will give you one guess why I picked Houston.
David
Defense.
Mills.
That defense. Oh my God, that defense is fun to watch. Was that? Which one was that?
That's blue.
Hi, Blue. I saw his little head. It looks like he tried to bite you.
He does. He
Um,
tries to nip me.
So we saw Indy go against a decent defense a couple weeks ago. I don't remember who it was, but I remember everybody saying, "We'll see if they're for real or not," and they lost. And
Pittsburgh.
Denver, that's right. And Houston's defense is top notch. I mean, they are so much fun to watch. So I think they're going to have just as much trouble. And CJ Stroud is slated to come back. So I don't know. I'm going Houston for sure.
I got Houston for similar reasons. Defense, and it's a divisional game. This is a huge one for Houston. To win this one game away from a team that looked like they're running away with this, huge.
And that's why I'm going with Indy, honestly, is they need to essentially win this game to keep that lead. And I think it's actually a detriment. I've said it this whole season. I do not think CJ Stroud's going to last in the NFL. And I think him coming back is going to be a detriment to that offense. Davis Mills is not the greatest quarterback. He is not the strongest passer. He is not, but he has made good decisions.
They did.
With the passes that he's made. And I understand they think CJ Stroud is the future, but he has done nothing but regress since he has been in the league. And I think now that Indy's defense is getting healthy, they've got Sauce Gardner, they've got Tre'Davious Ward. Both corners are slated to play in this game. I think it's going to be a very long game for Houston. But also it could be a very long game for Daniel Jones if that defense shows up.
See, yeah, I feel like they stifle the run, and
Yeah, the question is, do I start Daniel Jones this week?
no,
Eesh.
no, good God, no.
My other option is Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Actually, not true. I could maybe start Joe Burrow. I gotta take him off IR. So, I know.
I don't think he's playing this week.
Not great.
Clean
Okay,
slate.
we're-
Not
yeah.
not a difference here. I don't think anybody believes that Carolina is going to beat the number one team in the league.
No, but the back and forth for me was definitely the Tampa Bay game with Baker being out. He's the one that wins a lot of those games. He's just as long as he's in there, they have a chance. And him not being in is, I don't know what it's going to look like. And, you know, Arizona could absolutely have a chance because Brissett has done well. You know,
Mhm.
I haven't seen Bridgewater play in a long time.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I have the Bucks currently, but that's what I'm potentially going back to if Baker does play, because I feel like if he does play, it's not going to be good for them. I think if they give it to Teddy Bridgewater, they have more of a shot because it's still a quick turnaround. It's 6 days. He's probably not going to practice all this week. His shoulder's going to hurt in one sack, and we know Baker, part of his game is loving to run through the line and like take on dudes. Pause. But that's going to be eliminated from his game. So I do think I'm going to wind up going with Arizona on that one. But that is the only flip-floppy one here because, I mean, as Sam alluded to, LA #1 team. It's too much for the Panthers to do. And Seattle, arguably the number two team in the league, going against 9, because we're on the theme of this NFL season of a bunch of children that play for millions of dollars. And Sam Darnold and Jackson Smith and Jigba are just carving up defenses out there, and I don't think there's anyone on the Vikings defense that can stop that.
Yeah.
Except for last week.
I fully anticipate Baker Mayfield playing in this game. I do. But if he doesn't, I still think Tampa Bay wins, and it's because the return of Chris Godwin Jr. came back last week, shortened day for him, just to work him back in. But he's ready to get in there, and they're going to have a monster of a playmaker available for the week. So, and then of course we get into our last games, and all
the Colts playing again.
I think Aaron Rodgers might be out again this week.
Even if he wasn't, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's just hopeful.
I think the Pittsburgh Steelers look better with Mason Rudolph, a sentence I never thought I'd say coming out of my life. Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers has not done anything innovative with that offense.
No,
and just for our viewers, the Broncos are playing the Washington Commanders.
I was just gonna look.
This week.
Doesn't matter. They don't matter.
They don't matter without Jaden Daniels. Even if the Broncos offense looks like cream corn on a hot day, like it does not look good.
Ew.
But it's enough to beat Marcus Mariota, I think, because that defense will carry them through that game.
Yeah, I kind of threw this together real quick. So,
I could see the Giants upsetting the Patriots, but
absolutely. Jameis Winston, by the way, shout out, touchdown catch last week.
Yeah.
Because they're doing whatever it takes to compete, and I love watching that.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I saw something. It's a little bit of a tangent, but it's like you have to at least get 4 wins to get a first-round draft pick. I think that's 100% should be a rule that is like tested in like the XFL or whatever, because that's the type of stuff I want to see from these teams who are like, oh, we've got nothing left to play for. Like, no, like you still have to go out and play for your fans and things like that. They should put some onus on the league to make sure that they're actually trying in these games.
I believe that is generally the case, that they are trying. The owners may want that first pick, but the players do not want to go into the offseason saying, I just boned the rest of the season. What happens when they go somewhere else and they look at the tape? Oh, this guy was pretty crappy for most of the season. He's not going to get as big a contract.
But then you're just looking at the entire roster of the Las Vegas Raiders aside from Max Crosby, and it's like, why would any of those guys ever get signed again? Because they all suck.
They kind of do.
Well, and to go on that same tangent of doing whatever it takes to win, I feel like that's going to be the biggest issue for the Ravens coming down the stretch as things progress and as they get close to a playoff option. I think the Ravens will be outcoached because our offensive coordinator sticks to the same calls every game. It's the same game no matter who we're playing. And I worry that if we play a good coach, a good team that changes up the scheme, depending on how the game is progressing, we're not going to do the same thing. And, we're going to end up, that's what I think costs us the most games. We have to be more creative. We have to run plays based on what the other team is doing and how we're going up against their matchups, and like that's not happening. It's frustrating.
Yeah. By the way, of course.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we were at 37, by the way. We're getting there. There's only, 4 more weeks left in the year, so we need to sell 63 more
13,
copies.
14, 15, 16, 17, and 18.
6 more weeks. So we need what? Yeah,
6 weeks to
63
sell
more.
61 of these.
Yep. I think
Somebody
I'm feeling
better
pretty
run.
safe. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys. Thank you so much. This has been another fun week of letting us sit here and BS for 30 minutes about football like you actually care. Don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, click the bell so you know that when we go live. And join our Facebook group. We've got a couple of discussions going on there. Join in. We'll post there, let you know where we go live too. And Tarek and I are awful about making shorts. I mean, life gets in the way. It is what it is. But again, thank you so much for joining in. We can't wait to see you next week. Is it Tuesday yet? I'm Football Jester.
I'm Jess.
And I am Sam. You have a great football week. Bye, everyone. We'll give him the old Bubba.
Sam. Oh my gosh.